We live in a world ruled by tyranny, where knowledge is suppressed and ignorance is glorified. A world where propaganda and misinformation travel the airways at the speed of lies. But in the midst of the violence and chaos, a great awakening is taking place. And as the media empires continue to collapse, a new network is forming. A network of truth, a network of courage, a network of awareness. Peace and greetings. You are now tuned into the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, where we examine current events, politics, health, finance, and topics of cultural relevance in America and throughout the world, while bringing you insightful interviews with guests that will both educate and inspire you. And now, your host of the Network of Awareness podcast radio station, Aura the Informationalist.
Nothing like
Please just tell me what's happening to me in plain English without the mumbo jumbo.
My aura is a network full of awareness and gifts like Aura, the informationalist.
How you doing? How you doing?
Yes. Peace and greetings, people. All right, brothers and sisters, welcome to the live broadcast on the Network of Awareness. I'm Aura the Informationalist, owner and founder of the Network of Awareness, and I want to welcome you to this Faith Over Fear Friday live broadcast episode. Today, I'm doing my StreamYard thing, so I'm broadcasting on video live to the social media platforms of YouTube and on Twitter. And then, of course, we're broadcasting live on Spreaker. So welcome, brothers and sisters. I decided to do the live video on Twitter and YouTube because there's just a couple of videos that I want to play. So besides you hearing them, you can actually see them. And I decided to do it live so that way I don't have to do no edit. It's just, you're going to get it as it comes for this live broadcast. This episode, I was going to do a bonus episode, but I'm just going to do a regular episode in regards to the season 5, which is Great Understandings. Now, this is episode 52, Operation Annihilation. I'll put the artwork after the broadcast is over. I didn't have time to do that. I'm actually starting a little later than I was supposed to, but this is not going to be a long episode. We're going to get right to it. Originally, I was going to do the age of narcissism, but I think there's more important things to talk about, even though the narcissism does play into this on what I'm going to discuss. So I will discuss it a little bit, but the age of narcissism episode I'm going to do on Monday morning. But for right now, we're going to do Operation Annihilation, only because you have to understand something. Like, there is nothing but spiritual warfare going on. And this operation and this Agenda 2030 is really looking to destroy and corrupt and annihilate humanity. This is what the general had said. He said this is a 5th generation warfare. And what does that mean? That is the warfare for your heart and your mind. And what is the heart and the mind? The heart and the mind is the spirit. Because at the end of the day, we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And as many of us know, this experience is truly just temporary. Now, we're just going to shed some light and bring some light into this as far as when it comes to the truth as to what's really going on, because this is something to really take seriously. And shout outs to everybody that follows the NOA on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. Shout outs to all my artists on Tumblr. Really appreciate the support that I'm getting from you, especially the young ladies that are really trying to understand this truth for what it really is. Really appreciate the support and the comments that you're giving. Thank you to all the brothers and sisters that are tuning into the live broadcast on Spreaker. Shout outs to everybody around the world. Shout outs to the BOCC. And if you didn't know, the BOCC has a new podcast called The Council on Christ Relations. Check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. There's going to be episodes being distributed on a weekly basis, more consistently. And I guarantee you will not be disappointed how the word and the truth of the Most High in Christ, the Messiah, is being brought out. Now, let's get to this show and to the topics at hand, shall we?
The informationalist. You are now tuned in to the network of awareness.
Drop a bomb on them. So, let's get right into this, because this is what's going on right now for me personally. As I'm seeing the world and what's going on around the world, especially when it comes to this Agenda Do You Dirty, because this is an installment of the Agenda Do You Dirty series. And I'll be adding all that into the description, as well as the artwork. So if you don't see the artwork just yet, that's just because I'm going to post it up after the fact. But with that being said, brothers and sisters, I just saw a video earlier today from Uncle Reggie, who's a follower of mine and who I follow, who has great content. And I'm going to play it, but it really compelled me to change the episode, because what's happening right now is everything is under attack. There's not one thing. Not one. And I mean, literally, there's not one thing that's not under attack right now. And a lot of people are sleeping. And I'm going to tell you why. It has to deal with narcissism. Because most people in today's world, especially in the United Shenanigans of America, most people think that this is going to blow over. And I'm going to play some of the clips from that hearing of the panel that used to be in charge of Twitter that is no longer in charge of Twitter. And a lot of people think that our government is going to fix things, that our government is going to somehow make everything better once these people are exposed. There's even talks of a possible Nuremberg trial being brought into Congress or Senate or whatever, or into a hearing. But I say this to you people that think that. What happened the last time they had a Nuremberg trial? Did it stop the Nazis and all of the scientists that were brought here secretly, like Dr. Mengele and all that? Did that stop them from, putting out their MK Ultra operations and many other projects like Project Blue Beam and all these other ones? It didn't stop anything. And what I've come to realize more now than ever, each and every day, is that this whole world has been fed nothing but lies for centuries. For centuries. I would even say, according to scriptures, This world has been fed lies since man fell the first time from spirituality, from its true essence in which man and woman were created in that image of the Most High. And now we have a situation where, and it's interesting, if anybody wants to watch this or on YouTube, please do. I'm telling you, they play games with me, but it's all good because this will be archived anyway. But what I'm saying is that this operation, like, people are taking very lightly. And I've come to the point where I don't even get upset about it anymore, because I just realized that the calamity that's coming is going to fall upon a lot of people. And those that are aware and prepared, and those that have their faith on steroids and that have that unwavering faith, they're going to be good. And in the past 2.5 years, that has become a reality. We're actually seeing that. We're seeing a lot of people who have stuck to their faith. We've seen a lot of people that have been using critical thought when living this thing called life, how they've been good. Many of you that listen to this show know exactly what I'm talking about, because that's been your experience. You're seeing a lot of things around you come to destruction in some way, shape, or form. They're attacking animals. They're attacking humanity. They are attacking the infrastructures within society, within our governments. They're attacking the infrastructure within institutions. They're attacking everything. And I'm talking about the forces that shouldn't be. I'm talking about these principalities that work through man. The same principalities and men and women that many people around the world give veneration to. That's what I'm talking about. And it doesn't surprise me, because this has all been prophesized. Every single bit of it. And we're going to get into some clips that I have here in regards to this, because this one that I saw with the chickens being attacked by Monsanto was really, really disturbing. I mean, disturbing on levels that it's just mind-blowing sometimes. But this is our reality right now. And a lot of people are sleeping. A lot of people are sleeping. And I didn't think that people were going to be sleeping on this type of level. But this is what's actually happening right now. So I'm going to pull up these extensions real quick, because the first one that I'm going to pull up is the extension for Instagram. And let's put that there. All right. So let me go to my Instagram page here. And just give me 1 second, brothers and sisters. And by the way, just some things to consider here. Some updates and some announcements. Next week, towards the end of the week, I'm going to have a guest on the show. I'm going to have an attorney, an esquire, that goes by the name of Jan. And Jan Wade, she is a woman who is an attorney out of Phoenix, Arizona. And unfortunately, she took the science appliance, and she actually has gone through other inoculations in the past and is suffering greatly from it, but she's fighting the good fight and she's battling through it. She's bringing a ton of awareness now, and she's brought a ton of awareness back in the days. She's gone through many battles legally with this government in regards to many things when it comes to inoculations and other things. So I'm very much looking forward to that interview. And I'm going to play a quick song here so I get things set up. And since it is a live broadcast, we usually play music towards the end. But Brother Take One did pay for a spin. So for anybody who's looking to get their music showcased on the Network of Awareness, it only costs $75 for 5 straight live plays, and then the song stays in rotation forever. So if anybody's interested in bringing their music on, please email me at aura@networkofawareness.com. So let's play this song real quick. This is called Better Things with Take One featuring Yafi, Brother Akmar.
Hold on, be calm. There's a lot for you and a lot for me. Hold on, be strong. It's close to be, oh yes indeed. This world is cold and it's cursed, ain't no fixing that. This world is sold for the gold, I ain't feeling that. I'd rather wait on Elohim or King of Kings who fills my life with better
check
things.
My brother, keep fighting daily. The world is mighty shady, it isn't just kinda crazy. Amazing, we still here because Abba has shed his mercy. Messiah shed his blood for us even though we ain't worthy. But the mercy, I gotta reiterate for the second time, cause if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be alive. We all been brought at a price, we should be shouting for Christ. You're the way, you're the truth, and you're the life. What would I do without you? This world, it makes me sick, but there you are to comfort me through it all. My medicine. Don't get worried or get discouraged, it's in the plan. The day will come when we won't be under curses of man. But for now, it's daily practice, dashing for that penny. The enemy's looking fast to snatch it, that's a massive win. He's laughing, grinning, racking many. I pray you don't lose it. It's the season, bigger demons. I pray that you slash your many.
Hold on, be calm. There's a lot for you and a lot for me. Hold on, be strong. It's close to be, oh yes indeed. This world is cold and it's cursed, ain't no fixing that. This world is sold for the gold, I ain't feeling that. I'd rather wait on Elohim or King of Kings who fills my life with better
Father,
things.
teach me your ways so I can walk in your truth. Unite my heart to feel your name and let it straight since the youth. I never thought I'd see the day I make a change, so it's proof that your spirit alive and well. I love the fruit it produce, a living testimony. I lean on Messiah when my feet get tired. Where is words in my heart, not on my attire. This real cold, bundle up or you might expire. Learned how to trust in Elohim when my vision cloudy. I know he got me, weight get heavy, he spot me. Give me strength and endurance, his word be my assurance. Don't stop walking, keep your head up, it might get tough but be strong, never give up, We at the end, it's wartime till the day is stopped. Draw your sword for the battle, can't have no souls lost. Look, we gon' keep the faith, he gon' go before us. I pray he order our steps so we can stay the course. Yeah.
Hold on, be calm. There's a lot for you and a lot for me. Hold on, be strong. It's close to be, oh yes indeed. This world is cold and it's cursed, ain't no fixing that. This world is sold for the gold, I ain't feeling that. I'd rather wait on Elohim or King of Kings who fills my life with better things.
Yes. Shout outs to brothers Take One and Yafi. Another great job on another song. I feel very blessed to have brothers that I'm associated with spiritually and, associated with doing music with them, and even other brothers that have been on the show that have shared their music. So it's just been wonderful and a blessing to have authentic, independent, righteous, spiritual music. And if we had more like music like this being played on the radio, the world would be a different place for sure. So with that being said, I got my video pulled up here. So for those that are actually listening to the live broadcast, what you're going to just hear is a plane going by. And what's going to happen is you're going to actually see that once the plane goes by, and these planes are funded by companies, oligarchs, and conglomerates like Monsanto. Monsanto is probably one of the most demonic agricultural companies in regards to destroying anything that's pure. It's demonically driven. They're the same company that created a seed over 2 decades, maybe even 3 or 4 decades ago. But they created a seed that doesn't reproduce other seeds. It doesn't reproduce anything. All right. That's a lot. Matter of fact, that very seed is what you and I are eating whenever we eat seedless grapes, seedless watermelons, and many other seedless fruits. Okay. But let's play this quick clip because we got several to play today. All right, here we go. Now watch this. Now, as you can see, all that chicken just died, or that rooster just died, literally. Okay. Let me get out of here. So this is what's going on in other countries. All right. This was in, I believe this was in South America. Matter of fact, let me double check that because I don't want to misinform people. I believe it's in South America. But what you're seeing there is no different than what they're doing here in the United States. Because in the United States, as some of you may know, or some of you may not know, in the United States, what they're doing is, and just like companies like Monsanto, is that they're contaminating the feed. So they're giving a synthetic form of feed to the chickens out here. Why are they doing that? Because, and this is alleged, right? Because I am on YouTube right now, and they're probably just salivating right now, just waiting to press a button on me as I'm actually doing this live broadcast. But this thing with the seeds, I found out that there's some type of chemical or some type of substance within the egg yolk, that in the protein of the egg yolk, that basically prevents the SARS virus from affecting the body. So it's some type of form of protectant. And that's allegedly. That's not a fact because I don't know. But that's the word that's going around. And supposedly that's why a lot of the farm chicken animals are under attack internally with this feed. Now, the good thing is, and all praises to the Most High, is that a lot of farmers have pretty much figured this out. And some of the farmers figured it out pretty quickly without even having this knowledge, because they changed the feed. Once they changed the feed, the chickens were starting to lay eggs almost instantaneously from the moment they started eating it. It was not even a couple of hours, and all of a sudden the chickens are laying eggs again. But this goes back to the topic at hand. This is an operation for annihilation. Brothers and sisters, I think it's very important that we understand that this thing that is happening right now is all leading to that Agenda 2030. By 2030, they want to have this world under complete lockdown. And Furthermore, there's discussions that another pandemic may be coming. And it might be coming during elections or during midterms or during the voting process or right before it. And I can tell you from talking with several business owners, not just out here in the Tampa Bay area of Florida, but also my connections to New York City, and upstate New York, that I've heard many people tell me that are business owners saying that if for any reason, that even if there's a shutdown for a week, a month, whatever time frame may be, that a lot of these businesses will not be able to ever come back. They're really going to just go out of business. So that's something that is going to be very interesting because, and this is just my theory, okay? This is my opinion. Don't take this as fact, but I truly believe that if something like this is to happen, and it's damn sure looking like, because even Bill Gates has been mentioning that another pandemic is coming. He said it out of his own mouth. That didn't come from me. All right. And it's going to be a whole nother respiratory disease that is coming. All right. And it's interesting how they can predict a pandemic. It's like, I thought under the education that I got and the research that a pandemic is just something that happens unexpectedly. So how is it that we can now expect a pandemic? But that's the situation at hand right now. And before I play this other video with this hearing, there's something else I wanted to mention. I've been hearing a lot of talks from people saying, I got the GACA-19 on such and such day. I got it last year. I had got it last year, March. I had got it in the wintertime. And listen, I respect that, but I'm going to be honest with you people, and I hope that nobody takes this personal, but you didn't have GACA-19. You didn't have that. You had what's called the flu, and you had certain variations of it. And I pose this question to you people, because I've done extensive research on this. This thing doesn't exist. This whole thing has been perpetrated on a big lie. And more information is coming out to prove this. All right. And if you didn't hear my first or second seasons, when I brought out cracking the eggshells, I think I'm going to have to bring it out again, because people really think that this stuff is real. This is a figment of our imagination. That's all it is. And they know that. The powers that shouldn't be know that this is a figment of our imagination. We made it real through our perceptions of believing it. It's no different than how we perceive money to be real. Money is just a piece of paper with old-ass presidents' faces, ugly-ass men on the pictures of a piece of paper that we deem as something of value. That's it. It's all based on perception. It's a manipulation on perception. And this thing, this Operation Agenda 2030, Operation Agenda 21 is no different. And they really bamboozled a lot of us, many of us, even those of us that didn't take it, that didn't take the science appliance. We've been bamboozled to think that this is actually real when it's not. It's not real at all. And furthermore, put it like this, and then I'll move on to the next video, because this is not going to be a long, drawn out episode. But let me ask this question. Let's say that there was never a pandemic. And let's say that many of you that had these symptoms that you had, just recollect on the symptoms that you had when you had this supposed virus or this alleged virus. Would you still believe that you had GACA-19? Would you still believe that you acquired this alleged virus? That's all I'm asking, because I guarantee you that if a lot of people had all the symptoms that they had when this had happened to them, and this pandemic didn't even exist, and nobody was wearing masks and all this other stuff, that we started going through as of March of 2021, would you have had it? Or would you have had a flu? Would you have had a severe flu? Would you have had some type of flu that is affecting your respiratory system? Would you have had a fever? Would you have perceived it like, oh, I really got this really bad fever. I got this really bad cough or whatever it is. I got the sweats. And then if you would have weighed it out, right? Because there wouldn't have been this thing where you got to go to a ventilator to have your lungs collapsed. You wouldn't have had all these medications injected into you. You would have weighed it out. The Heavenly Father's immune system would have beat it, would have defeated it. Just like it did for brothers and sisters that thought that they had something that was different than they've had before. See, that's the thing. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed when it comes to illness. All the same illnesses that we used to get 3 or 4 years ago, we got them again. But they got a label on it. They put a label on it. And people got stuck with the label and believed it to be true and gave it a whole new reality and perception to what we consider as sickness and illness. And that's what's led us to where we're at now. And now, what I like about this too, and I know it's going to sound a little weird to people, but you know what I liked about what happened is that it got to expose people for who they really are spiritually. It got to expose all the bullshit and the nonsense that I've been talking about for the past 20 years with friends and family and on other networks that I've been a part of. I've been talking about this for a long time. A lot of people in this country and around the world are spiritually compromised. They are full of shit. They are egoic. They are narcissists. And this exposed it, especially with your people that have OCD. It just brought it all out. It brought out the mental illness that has plagued this world. And when you saw these people with their face mask and face coverings and, you know, having hysterical moments with staying 6 feet apart and all this other nonsense, it just exposed the world. And I was grateful for that. Because when this thing hit, when everything was empty and it looked like I am legend out here in Florida, I was having a great old time because I was able to have peace of mind, not being around this corrupted psychosis that has plagued this country, especially through the ego. All right. You got to see how many people don't have empathy. You got to see how many people are actually psychopathic. You got to see the sociopaths of the world. You actually got to see them like it's a video game, like they're marked, like they're actually marked. Like if this was Auschwitz, where people had a band on their arm or a tattoo on them. And you're still seeing it to this day when you see people walking around with masks. When I see somebody walking around with a mask, I already know that mentally they're unstable. I already know. And it's good for me because now I can identify, because if that person didn't have a mask on, I wouldn't know that they have some type of mental instability. So with that being said, let's go to this next video. And let me put my headphones back on here. And I know this episode is going to piss off a lot of people, but I really don't give a shit. All right, here we go. Now, these are some slides from Sister Jan Wade. She is the sister that's the attorney out in Phoenix, Arizona. And she is she's going to be on the show. And let me see if I can make this screen a little bit bigger for you brothers and sisters, because I know that some of you may not be able to see it the way it's supposed to. Okay, so it's a little bit better. So let's read this. Utopian. The CDC has added 20 shots to the childhood schedule today. Now, this post was put out 18 hours ago. Any parents who go along with this is literally insane. So keep this in mind, people, especially you people with young kids. This is on schedule. Don't be surprised that come next year, before your child has to attend specific private or public schools, especially out here in the United Shenanigans, out there in Europe, pretty much everywhere. But let's focus on Western culture, Western civilization. So Western civilization culture is going to start telling you parents that your child is going to have to get 20 shots before they can go back to school. They're going to be on schedule. And just like Sister Jan said, this is insane if you go along with it. And this is why I've been a major proponent on this network about letting people know to do homeschooling. I think homeschooling should be a major priority. I know it is for Brother Billy Izzy and his wife Maggie. I know for sure that that's on their mind. And they are already prepping their son and daughter that are very small, right? Because their daughter's a newborn. They're already prepping for their children to start getting homeschooling and putting things into the works to make sure that that becomes a reality. And I definitely impress this upon many of you brothers and sisters that are in the same situation, because I've said this before, we're going to start to see even more people dropping like flies, way more. So this next slide, this is from Utopian. All right. It says, "Hey, doc, are you sure that 100 shots is right for my kid?" The pediatrician says, "God makes defective products that we have to fix." And as funny as that sounds, it's really serious, because that's what man is doing right now. That's what these principalities are making you believe, that somehow the Most High made a mistake, when many of our brothers and sisters know that the Most High makes no mistakes at all. The Most High makes no mistakes. Everything is purposely done. Everything is for a reason, and that reason is there to serve us in a multitude of ways. Facts. But yet, you got these other people like Dr. Faulty, Dr. Fuckus, that wants to make you believe otherwise, and has been doing it for over 50 years. Now, it says, the person goes, "And pharma? Does pharma ever make defective products?" Pediatrician says, "Pharma is infallible. And if you question this, I'm calling Child Protective Services to come take your kids." Has that not been the reality for the past 2 years amongst brothers and sisters throughout the world? Especially in Western civilization. There's countless videos of this being shown in the UK and in the United States and in Australia. And shout outs to all those places that are tuning into the live broadcast and downloading the show afterwards. Another fun fact, and this is all alleged, let's just say that, because who knows what's going to happen after this broadcast? Who knows what type of flags I'm going to get? But it's okay. It is all good, because I'm going to be taking these works to my Patreon page for these videos. I'm not going to be doing many of these videos much longer on Twitter or on YouTube. I'm going to take them to Patreon, Rumble, and all that. So enjoy it while it lasts, because I'm realizing that the level of censorship is on steroids, and there's nothing that I can do about it but basically find other ways to bring this truth out. And the Most High is always going to provide a way no matter what. Now it says this one product, V's, we're going to call it the V's, melts the brain of many people. A 225-year-old technology that they never worked as well as they claimed, and have always come with catastrophic side effects. In the 1930s in Austria, aluminum was introduced as an adjuvant, and next thing you know, the injected were goose stepping and trying to take over the world. Surely just a coincidence. I know. Now, any substance, no matter how toxic or experimental, if it contains the word V on the outside of the box, it's declared as a priority to be safe, sacred, necessary, and infallible. Right, people? That's what's happening right now. Basically, you got men telling us, you got men and women telling us that they know more than the Most High, that they know better than the Most High. And I'm going to say something else. When it comes to all of the science appliances that have been created throughout the beginning of this pharmaceutical / medical tyranny that started a long, long time ago, over 200 years ago, not one of them serves any purpose for the well-being of our health. I'm going to say it again. Not one. So for all you people that think that any type of a science appliance that's ever been produced has been safe for consumption or for the body to intake, you're wrong. You are wrong, and always have been. There's never been. And this is what, like, sometimes my head feels like I'm spinning like a bobblehead, where so much has been brought out in the last 10 years. We can even say that so much has been brought out in the last 50 to 60 years when it comes to the truth of what's really going on. And that's why I say, how can you believe anything that they're telling you when they've always been lying to us? Everything in this world is a lie. Everything we've been taught in the school systems is a lie. So why all of a sudden, when they tell you that there's a pandemic and it has a name to it, why are people believing that it's real? It's just a question I'm asking. Because many people are still believing this to be real. And the only place that it's real is within your own mind. And that's where the war begins. And that's where the war is going to end. This is a fifth wave of generational spiritual warfare. It is the attack on the heart and the mind. It is the attack on the spirit. Satan is collecting souls, brothers and sisters. That's what we are seeing right before our eyes, and collecting many. Next one by Utopian. Once we've proved that the birth dose of the hepatitis B thing was entirely about profit and obedience and had nothing to do with health, that was it. We won the debate. It was time for the other side to apologize and start making amends. Well, let me tell you something about a narcissist. Okay, which many of these demons are. Narcissists don't have empathy. That's why they can sacrifice a child and not think twice about it. That's why they can watch a person die and not feel anything. Narcissists don't know shit about repentance. Not a damn thing. Okay? Instead, the other side went full fascist, abandoning logic. And that's an episode I'm going to do. Is I'm going to call the episode Abandoning Logic, because when it came to the pandemic, logic didn't even exist. And like my friend Lincoln, shout outs to brother Lincoln out in the BX, common sense ain't so damn common anymore. Ain't no more common sense. Common sense is gone. Common sense is extinct these days. Logic doesn't even resonate within people these days. It's a very small percentage of people that are actually losing logic, reason, and science. Science, let me tell you something about science. Science is man's way of interpreting the spiritual fruits and works of the Most High. That's all science is, nothing else. Medicine and health, and launched a total war against humanity. Operation Annihilation, brothers and sisters. Agenda Do You Dirty 2030. Let's go on to the next slide. It says, I want to live in a society based on truth. We all do, or at least some of us. Some of us want to live in the spirit of Christ. We want to live in the example of the true life that will lead us on the path to salvation. And many of us want to live by that example so that we can have our heaven on earth. Because like Christ said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. That light is within you. And I think a lot of people have strayed away from that understanding. Why? Because of the narcissism, especially when it comes to social media. We have a new religion now, And the new religion that we have right now is called self-worship. That's the new religion that we have, self-worship. And guess what? There's a lot of followers. It's a big congregation, a huge one. And they're fellowshipping every single day amongst themselves, individually and collectively. Next slide. We had a tactic agreement as society that disagreements would be resolved through appeals to science, logic, and reason. Then pharma got caught red-handed committing crimes against humanity. Rather than own up to the misdeeds, they used their wealth and power to shred the social contract and impose totalitarianism throughout the developed world. Well said, brother. Well said. Couldn't have said it better myself. I love this. I actually put this up as a post. To live not by lies is really expensive in a society dedicated to lies. Hasn't that been our experience more now than ever, especially for the past 2 years plus and still going? And it hasn't stopped, people. If you thought last year was bad, this year is going to be far worse. It's already started out bad. Matter of fact, this winter weather wars that we're experiencing is atrocious. And a word that I've been using a lot is astonishing. And I'm completely flabbergasted at times of the level of malevolence. All right. And I'm going to talk about that next week, about these technologies that HAARP has that are really doing a lot of damage to the ecosystem and to our brains and to our biology, our actual anatomy through radio waves and frequencies, let alone the technology as well. Because people think that 5G is bad. If you think 5G is bad, HAARP's got stuff that makes 5G look like the common, cold of radiation, so to speak. It's nothing compared to what they have and what they're going to be bringing out. Here's another post by Utopian. We live in insane Nazi clown world. And guess what? I put a post out last year about how there's a lot of brothers and sisters walking around in clown shoes. A lot. It's a term that my brother likes to use. You got your clown shoes on. And you seeing these clowns walking around. And a lot of them got red, purple, green, rainbow hair. You got a lot of clowns walking around these days. And then it says, and heaven help anyone who questions this toxic junk on social media, like I'm doing right now. And I like to believe that I'm exposing this toxic junk for what it really is. And you know what? At the end of the day, this is my perceptions. This is my opinion. But you see, one thing that I've come to know, and I really mean by know, the knowledge, that my faith is not faith anymore. My faith is a knowing. My faith has transmuted into a knowing. I know that the Most High is real. I don't question that. I don't even believe in it no more. I know it is. I know that the Most High is real. I know that if we live in the example of the Messiah, that wonderful things happen in the most extreme moments of this thing we call life and our time. I'm living it, and I've seen it happen in other people's lives. So when it comes to my belief system, I don't have a belief system anymore. It's a knowing. And it's a knowing that is absolute. It also says that the Stasi are all over that like white on rice. Facts. So true. So true. And I won't be surprised if this broadcast, when it comes to YouTube, and see what Twitter does to me is they just shadow ban me. So they make it to where nobody really gets to see it. Whereas YouTube, they just strike me. They strike me down like a nun at a Catholic church in the 1950s with a ruler. All right. It says that, vaccination equals true slavery and calling it freedom. Okay. And the only reason I call it vaccination, because for me to use the V word on my platform is damn near like blasphemy for these oligarchs that control big tech and social media. Utopian says, what's wild about World War III is that most people don't realize it's happening. And that's the crazy part, is that it's happening right now as we speak. Right now, in a state near you, here in the United Shenanigans of America, there is a plane flying out right now that is spreading nothing but toxic chemicals, just like it did in the first video that killed all those chickens. And when I watched that video for the first time, it broke my heart to see that, because I hate to see animals suffer. I hate to see human beings suffer, but I hate to see animals suffer because, in my personal opinion, I think animals are closer to the Most High than we are. All right? They're more in tune. That's why they get to see things coming, because they operate, the animals that the Most High created, they're still operating in the very order that the Most High created them to be. You know who distorted that when it comes to the way they operate in the order of the Most High? We did. Man, sin, ego. All right. Now, this next one I'm going to play. This is actually on, what you call it? On TikTok. And, give me 1 second here while we're going to bring up this TikTok page. Oh, shalom, brother Barnabas. I see he's on the YouTube. So, and we're gonna let you play some music from Brother Barnabas in just a little bit. Once we finish this broadcast. Now, let's go to YouTube, brothers and sisters. I mean YouTube. Let's go to TikTok. Okay.
You look fine, honestly. Like, sure. Yeah.
To describe this story as horrifying.
You look fine. You look fine, honestly. Like, sure. Yeah.
Okay, enough of that nonsense. All right, so give me 1 second here, because
Puppy.
I'm going to pull up the videos that I have, and this is something I have to always go through, brothers and sisters. Okay, here we go. So let's go to the likes, and we're going to play this first one.
Mr. Ross.
Okay. Now, before I play this, I want to make one thing very clear. People, government is not going to save us. So when you see these hearings and you see these companies being exposed, this is all part of the big stage. This is all part of the circus show. This is all for show. This is like the WWE on steroids. The only difference is that they're wearing suits and they speak very articulately, and you know they have the American flag and they're on podiums, but it's no different than what happens in the World Wrestling Entertainment Federation. It's no different than what happens in the so-called coliseums of the world today when it comes to football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. It's all a big stage and it's all a big manipulation. And this one is no different. So I'm going to share my TikTok here. And let's see if we can pull it up. All right. So I'm going to share the screen. And see if we can share the TikTok. Give me 1 second here. Okay. All right. So here we go. Listen to this. This is one of the best videos that I've seen present day. Check this one out. Now, this is the panel of the administrative executive staff that was running Twitter. This one's great. I love this one.
You are no stranger to conspiracies and their real-world consequences. If you don't mind, can you please describe for the committee how the release of the so-called Twitter files has affected your personal safety?
Thank you for the question, Congresswoman. The Twitter files, I would note first and foremost, didn't just affect me, but affected much more junior employees at Twitter.
Tragic. Fully science appliance and boosted 6-year-old child dies suddenly. Now, the man that you see speaking there, this is what's called a demon. This man is a straight demon. This man is probably one of the most wickedest people behind the social media red curtain. And just because he is no longer part of Twitter because Elon Musk had did away with all this, and that's another thing. Like I said before, a lot of you people that think that Elon Musk is a righteous man and that he now took over Twitter and they're going to make everything better. Oh, and all I'm going to say is this, because I'm not going to get too long-winded about what this man and the purpose that he serves. But brothers and sisters, how can a man be of righteousness that wants to create a technology that's going to put a neural link chip inside your brain? If that's not the mark of the beast, I don't know what is. So how can that man be righteous when that's his intentions on buying Twitter in the first place? I'm telling you, man, people are brain dead these days, man. People just want to go with the flow so they can drink and live merry in their lusts and their desires, and they just think that everything is going to blow over. I got family members that I don't even talk to no more because it's like I feel like I'm getting dumber when I have conversations with some of these family members. Like I feel like I'm going to become stupid, and I can't afford to do that these days because we're under spiritual attack, and you better have your damn spiritual wits about you to survive in this warfare these days. And you better be well equipped. And you better be well equipped with the word of the Most High. The word, that Holy Spirit better be filling you up. Your cup better be filled to the brim with this righteousness and understanding of what's actually how things should be, opposed to what man is telling you how they should be. Let's continue.
Employees as far away as Manila in the Philippines were doxxed, had their families threatened, and experienced harm equal to or greater than what I've experienced. And following the Daily Mail's decision to publish where I live, ultimately I had to leave my home and sell it.
Oh,
those are the
poor
consequences for this type of online harassment and speech.
Harassment and speech. I guarantee you that he's part of the alphabet gang. He looks like he's colorful. Okay? I bet you there's a lot of sugar in that tank. This is despicable, people, but these are the people. You have a lot of your alpha beganians, okay? You got a lot of alpha beganians that are running amok throughout the social, political, and industrial institutions of this country, present day. And he's just one of many.
Oh, I must say, those are very real consequences.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Twitter files were not just about Hunter Biden's laptop. Twitter worked overtime to suppress accurate COVID information. Apparently, the views of a Stanford doctor are disinformation to you people. I, along with many Americans, have long-term effects from COVID. Not only was I a long hauler, but I have effects from the vaccine. It wasn't the first shot, but it was the second shot that I now developed asthma that has never gone away since I had the second shot. I have tremors in my left hand, and I have the occasional heart pain that no doctor can explain. And I've had a battery of tests. I have great regrets about getting the shot because of the health.
Let me tell you something. She's one of the lucky ones. I'm going to repeat that. She's one of the lucky ones. Okay. My aunt that's no longer here, may she rest in peace. My aunt Monse, okay, in Puerto Rico, that was living in North Carolina with my cousin. And she took the science appliance. Okay. Not even a couple of weeks. I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks. She couldn't walk. Bedridden. For life. But then after that, okay, after she couldn't walk again, after taking this satanic serum, she passed away 2 months after that. All right. So A lot of you people that like to make a joke about this, especially on my platforms, trying to make a mockery of this. I take this very personal. This is not funny. All right? This is not funny at all. I've already lost 3 close family members. All right? So I knew that was going to happen, but it still sucks. It's not something that I wish upon my worst enemy. And I think that people really need to wake the hell up when it comes to this type of information, because the attack is very persistent and consistent. The attacks are very consistent. It's not going nowhere. All right, let's continue.
Health issues that I now have that I don't think are ever going to go away. Where did you go to medical school?
I did not go to medical school.
I'm sorry?
I did not go to medical school.
That's what I thought. Why do you think you or anyone else at Twitter have the medical?
And she's going to answer that question, but why is it that big tech companies like YouTube, like Instagram, and it's not just Twitter. I know that the focus is on Twitter, but I feel like all these companies need to be on trial. All of them, including the one that I'm broadcasting on, which is Twitter and YouTube. They all need to be brought up on trial. They all need to be brought to question, because these people are telling us and telling the professional, the doctors, that they're not allowed to speak the knowledge and the truth that they know, that they've been researching for decades. But yet they have no experience whatsoever in the medical field, but they get to determine what you say, whether it's real or not. And they get to ban you and they get to shut you down. It's like they have a remote control on us and they're muting people. Okay, thank you, brother, for letting me know that there is no sound on these videos. I wonder why. And I don't know why.
Mr. Ross.
So let me see something here. Thank you for letting me know, brother, that this there was no sound on this. And let me see if I can. I'm gonna take this down for a sec. Let me stop sharing my screen, because this is the last video that I'm gonna play too, by the way. So we're gonna go to share screen. I got share tab audio. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this from the beginning again. Let me know in the chat room if you can still hear it. If not, I'll have to switch it up into the browser to see if it can be heard on the browser. Matter of fact, this is what I'm going to do. And thanks, brother, could come, because this is where the loopback audio comes in handy. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the loopback audio and see if I can just put the TikTok app that I have on here. Let's do that. Perfect. Okay. So let's take the TikTok app and we're going to put it in 7 and 8 as well. And hopefully this works. All right. So let me know if you can hear it now. Thanks for informing me that this wasn't working.
Very real consequences.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Twitter files were not just about Hunter Biden's laptop. Twitter worked overtime to suppress accurate COVID information. Apparently, the views of a Stanford doctor are disinformation to you people. I, along with many Americans, have long-term effects from COVID. Not only was I a long hauler, but I have effects from the vaccine. It wasn't the first shot, but it was the second shot that I now developed asthma that has never gone away since I had the second shot. I have tremors in my left hand, and I have the occasional heart pain that no doctor can explain, and I've had a battery of tests. I have great regrets about getting the shot because of the health issues that I now have that I don't think are ever going to go away. Where did you go to medical school?
I did not go to medical school.
I'm sorry?
I did not go to medical school.
That's what I thought. Why do you think you or anyone else?
All right, so there's no sound. So my apologies, brothers and sisters. I don't know why there's no sound. Maybe it's because I'm talking so much shit about these demons that they block the sound or something. I can't even tell you why I don't have sound. But what I will try to do, because I'm very resilient. I'm a very persistent man. I don't like to give up at all, especially when it comes to bringing out this truth. So let's do this, brothers and sisters. I'm going to open up my TikTok app here. And I'm going to see if I can open up TikTok on the browser itself. And if I could do that, then we should be able to hear it. Perfect.
Listen to this.
This is how you know you're the chosen one. And no, everybody is not selected to be a chosen one.
Okay. So I think we're going to be able to hear it now. Yeah, we're going to be able to hear it now. So that's good. So let me close out the app and we're going to listen to it off the browser. So brothers and sisters, I'm going to play this video from the beginning. And I want you to let me know in the chat room if you can now hear it, which I believe you will because I'm now sharing it off the browser. All right, here we go.
Mr. Roth, you are no stranger to conspiracies and their real-world consequences. If you don't mind, can you please describe for the committee how the release of the so-called Twitter files has affected your personal...
All right, can somebody let me know in the chat room if you heard that before I go any further? Because okay, great. All right, I got a yes. Let's go. See, brothers and sisters, where there's a will in the way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Wonderful. All praises to the Most High, baby. Let's go. These demons can't mess with us.
Personal safety.
Thank you for the question, Congresswoman. The Twitter files, I would note first and foremost, didn't just affect me, but affected much more junior employees at Twitter. Employees as far away as Manila in the Philippines were doxxed, had their families threatened, and experienced harm equal to or greater than what I've experienced. And following the Daily Mail's decision to publish where I live, ultimately I had to leave my home and sell it. Those are the consequences for this type of online harassment and speech.
Oh, I must say, those are very real consequences.
Thank you, Ms.
So as you can hear, brothers and sisters, this is the nonsense that we see a lot in the very sensitive world, especially when it comes to our children. So to all you parents that have kids, make sure you're raising your kids with a backbone because these kids these days are soft like cotton. They are soft like wet tissue. All right. They have no backbone, these kids. And furthermore, not only are they super sensitive like this grown-ass man is, but a lot of the children that are being socially engineered by these types of people and socially conditioned is one of the reasons why they don't have a backbone. But you know what's even worse about the newer generations now, especially your Gen Zers and all that? They have no accountability whatsoever. And that's scary for the future of the world, is a society that has no accountability for shit. Let's continue.
Mr. Chairman, the Twitter files were not just about Hunter Biden's laptop. Twitter worked overtime to suppress accurate COVID information. Apparently, the views of a Stanford doctor are disinformation to you people. I, along with many Americans, have long-term effects from COVID. Not only was I a long hauler, but I have effects from the vaccine. It wasn't the first shot, but it was the second shot that I now developed asthma that has never gone away since I had the second shot. I have tremors in my left hand, and I have the occasional heart pain that no doctor can explain, and I've had a battery of tests. I have great regrets about getting the shot because of the health issues that I now have that I don't think are ever going to go away. Where did you...
So I was basically saying earlier that she's one of the lucky ones, brothers and sisters, compared to many of our other brothers and sisters that they're no longer here. Enough said.
go to medical school?
I did not go to medical school.
I'm sorry?
I did not go to medical school.
That's what I thought. Why do you think you or anyone else at Twitter have the medical expertise to censor a doctor's expert opinion?
Our policies regarding COVID were designed to protect individuals. We were seeing...
You guys censored Harvard-educated doctors, Stanford-educated doctors, doctors that are educated in the best places in the world, and you silenced those voices. You're not a doctor, right, Ms. Gaddy?
No, I'm not.
Okay. What makes you think you or anyone else at Twitter have the medical expertise to censor actual, accurate CDC data?
I'm not familiar with these particular situations.
Yeah, I'm sure you're not. It's not just about the laptop. This is about medical advice that expert doctors were trying to give Americans because social media companies like Twitter were silencing their voices. Did the U.S. government ever contact you or anyone at Twitter to pressure Twitter to moderate or censor certain tweets? Yes or no?
We have a program.
Did the U.S. government ever contact you or anyone at Twitter to censor or moderate certain tweets? Yes or no?
We receive legal demands to remove content from the platform from the U.S. government and governments all around the world.
Thank God for Matt Taibbi. Thank God for Elon Musk for allowing to show us in the world that Twitter was basically a subsidiary of the FBI.
Mr. Ross.
Okay, so with that being said, brothers and sisters, thank you for letting me know that there was no sound. Greatly appreciate that, because it would have just been a bad thing thinking that there was if nobody was on this chat room. I hope that this gave you some great substance in understanding the attack. This is just another reiteration on what I talk about since I started this network. This is spiritual warfare. This is the 5th generation wave of warfare against the hearts and the minds of humanity. And it is not letting up. So just like it's not letting up, we can't let up in this fight as spiritual warriors, all right, within this truth of the Most High. The Most High put us here for a reason. And that reason is to serve great purpose as vessels of light, of that spirit that is, always will be, and will continue to be. Because Most High already defeated Satan, all right? So we need to defeat Satan too in our daily lives. And we need to not only repent, but we need to keep these demons at bay by not utilizing our idle time for self-worship, for lust and desire, and for perversion. We need to use it to serve great purpose, to lift each other up, because we are all in this together as one. And if now is not the time, I don't know whenever it is. So with that being said, Brother Dawad, of course, came to my house without even letting me know. Like I told him to let me know when he's 10 minutes away, but he popped up. So I'm about to go chill with my brother. And with that being said, brothers and sisters, I want to wish you a wonderful day. May the Most High in Christ, the Messiah, may Yahweh Elohim bless your walk today and fill you up with great purpose and with that Holy Spirit, as I know he will. And when you live in the present, there is always an opportunity for a new beginning. And don't look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light is and always will be within you. So I'm going to play a song by Brother Take One and Brother Barnabas, Demon Slayer. This is called Watch Me. So let's get it popping, brothers and sisters.
Demon Slayer. Take one.
You are now tuned in to the Network of Awareness.
Nothing like all praise Yahweh. Yahweh Elohim is the only one I need. Dedicating all my life to the King. He's the one who's got the plan. Everything is in his hands. From the womb he knew what I'd be. Getting stronger by the day as I keep my faith up. I done dealt a lot of pain, still I keep my faith up. Ain't got no time to chill, cause it's a battle to the finish. Salvation is the goal, I'm gonna get it.
Just watch me. Best foot forward, never thought I'd ever walk the walk. Truth's like walking a fine line, while holding a ball you can't drop. Loops and turns, you live and you learn. The Most High already got you reserved. Just gotta keep fighting, move with surge. Doing the work is my only concern. My plate's full cause I'm hungry to win. Tough life, yeah, but I won't just give in. Head held high, shoulders to the back. My faith is like a title I gotta defend. And I can't lose it, nah, I gotta keep winning. Gotta keep it strong, always lead with it. Yeah, this battle's long, but I ain't even winded. When you walk with Yah, no need to replenish. If you looking for a place to keep your trust, Yahweh's got your back, baby, he's the one. From start to finish, ain't gonna leave you stuck. A man can help you up, but still he's corrupt. Can't trust him, gotta give the will to Yah. From coast to coast, he knows where you are. When demons lurking, trying to get you lost, the Holy Ghost is all you need to call.
Yahweh Elohim is the only one I need. Dedicating all my life to the King. He's the one who's got the plan. Everything is in his hands. From the womb he knew what I'd be. Getting stronger by the day as I keep my faith up. I done dealt a lot of pain, still I keep my faith up. Ain't got no time to chill, cause it's a battle to the finish. Salvation is the goal, I'm gonna get it.
Just watch me. My soul is so close, I'm feeling that hope. I feel my mind walking on the road. I feel my heart going to that road. Feel my soul, it got hope. I feel my soul. So is you really gonna let the flesh take you over, or you gonna fight it all? I be feeling like I'm drowning. I was drowning, but now I'm looking up and I see a lot. Yeah, I see the stars. I feel the light when I look upon. Seeing things I ain't never seen when I pray to the Most High God. I'm seeing these visions, I'm feeling these dreams. I'm feeling the word, I'm feeling with speed. He quickened me when I was so lonely. He listened to me when I was so broken. He fixing to me all the broken pieces stabbing at me. So when you feel like giving up, just know he gave us a second chance. So repent while you can.
Yahweh Elohim is the only one I need. Dedicating all my life to the King. He's the one who's got the plan. Everything is in his hands. From the womb he knew what I'd be. Getting stronger by the day as I keep my faith up. I done dealt a lot of pain, still I keep my faith up. Ain't got no time to chill, cause it's a battle to the finish. Salvation is the goal, I'm gonna get it.
Just watch me.
I need to get right. I need to get right.
Life is an unpredictable and amazing journey. Our ever-changing conditions within today's society and the constant new trends influencing cultures can become overwhelming, to say the least. But no worries. The Network of Awareness podcast radio show brings peace of mind in these challenging times. Follow us on your favorite podcast listening app and join our community of Network of Awareness at networkofawareness.com.